Today on Suncoast View, Siesta Key is back in the national spotlight. Is this a good or bad thing for the Suncoast? We'll discuss.
It may be summer season, but that doesn't mean the calendar is quiet. We have Cliff Rose here with an event preview and a social season wrap-up.
Plus, West Coast Black Theater Troupe debuts an original Broadway review, and today we have a rousing preview. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Sing it, Nate, I love it. Welcome to the show. If we redo the open, I want you singing, okay? With our jazz band. We have a fun group assembled today. Bo Beth is extending her holiday weekend, so we welcome back Nate Jacobs, Artistic Director, West Coast Black Theater, of course, and Cliff Rolls, who we fondly call Sarasota's Society photographer.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Definitely.
With his friend, the camera. Great to have you both here.
Yeah.
And Linda, back from holiday weekend travels.
Oh, I went to Atlanta. It was my grandson's 7th birthday, and I have promised my grandchildren I'll never miss a birthday.
I was going to say, you never
David.
do.
Yes, David turned 7.
Little David.
He is a great guy. He's named after my dad, David.
Oh, and he's soaking wet, so
yes,
where were you?
And that I was in Atlanta. In fact, I think that we were in Roswell, and that's my granddaughter Ariana. That's Pine Lake. We went to that lake, and that's my sister Margaret. We used to go to that lake when we were kids. We thought this was huge. It was a monster lake, and look the size of it. And we visited my parents' grave, so it was very, very, it was going home again, and all those wonderful memories that only your sister and your family and people like that can share. So we laughed all weekend, and I got to introduce my little granddaughter, tell her all about her grandparents, and we even went to visit the great-great-grandparents' grave. So it was a weekend I hope she remembers a long time.
When you spend a couple of days with your family, do you start going back into the Atlanta accent, the Georgia accent?
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
It comes right back again.
And you told me once, many years ago, you worked very hard to get rid of that.
Yes, because it was fine as long as I was in Atlanta. But every day, I was doing the weather. Every day between the 6 and the 11 o'clock weather, I'd go to a speech teacher and work on my Southern accent. Southern accent is too much lateral movement in the mouth. I know that. So it's because we smile a lot.
Oh, good. That's a good thing.
And there is nothing wrong with that.
Smiling is great.
And nothing better than a weekend with family. So I'm glad you had such safe travel.
Good for you.
It was truly, truly great.
What a blessing.
I feel like a kid again.
Well, we are glad to have you back. And we're going to do something very kid-like today in the kitchen, and I'm secretly excited about this. I want to welcome a new friend, Kim, from Orange Octopus.
Hello.
And I see scoops of ice cream on your logo. Tell us what we'll be doing today.
We're going to be making some fun and interesting sundaes.
Ice cream sundaes.
Ice cream sundaes.
Tell us about Orange Octopus. Where are you located?
We're located on Siesta Key, the south end, near Stickney Point Road. We're in the Captain Kurtz Plaza, and it's 1220 Old Stickney Point Road is our address.
All right, and there is nothing better than ice cream and the beach. So what a great combination.
Right.
All right, well, we look forward to that. And speaking of Siesta Key, the topic fits right in today for our first hot topic, Siesta Key back in the news. So there's a big question. Is it good news or bad news that Siesta Beach is rocketing back into the national spotlight? First, Dr. Beach, one of the world's top coastal experts, once again ranked Siesta Beach as the top beach in the country. Now, Siesta Key is also featured in a new reality series on MTV. It's being described as similar to The Hills, which means it's a group of 20-somethings who return home to Siesta for the summer after their freshman year in college. Do you worry all this attention will change our quaint beach village too much?
It's not really a quaint village anymore. You know, we've got so many high rises, so many people coming in, so many visitors, but I think that's a good thing. I love seeing all of the visitors. You love seeing them in your audience.
I do too. They are new patrons for me.
And Cliff, you see them at all the parties.
Well, we do need them. We need their money.
Yes, we do.
If they'd only leave their cars at home, it would be even better.
I agree. I agree. There's only 2 ways to the Key, and they're only 2 lanes wide.
Yes.
I mean, I don't see that changing anytime soon. And I don't know. It's such an amazing place, but I hesitate going because of everybody else there.
Sure.
Yeah,
and it's hard to
that's true.
keep that place a secret. It is simply beautiful.
Amazing.
Yes.
People come
Yeah.
here and they go like, oh my gosh, wow, this is just like stunning. And it is.
It is. It happened to me
that's-
10 years ago.
We look out onto the crowds of cars every day from 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock at night, streaming over the South Bridge, because that's where we live. We live near our wonderful
Orange
guest
octopus.
from
Perfect.
the ice cream place. And we're basically looking out at a stream of cars all day. And the thing is that both bridges are separated by drawbridges. There's no
Right.
run over like there is in
Right.
the causeway. So you're basically having to wait. If a little boat or a boat wants to go through, it goes through. Sometimes we are of the opinion that there's no rhyme or reason behind the timeline. It's like it goes up when a boat wants to go through. So that results in massive, massive chaos back into 41, back over into Swift Road.
Right.
And now Benderson wants to build there as well. God knows what that's going to be like if they ever build on that big corner on the
Right.
course on 41 and Stickney Point Road. So I say yes to the tourists. I say we need their money. God knows I live from it. But I think that we don't have the traffic infrastructure to cope with it. And the bigger we get, the more chaotic it's going to become as far as the traffic is concerned.
What about reputation? Does the MTV tie-in bother anybody?
I think it's fun. We always say we need younger people. Then they come and we say, no, no, no.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
Good
they got to
point.
be quiet at night. Okay, younger people,
Yeah,
come on
I
in,
think
but
that's,
go to bed at
too.
7.
Well, at the risk of sounding like an old fuddy-duddy, is MTV the power that it used to be? I mean, does it still attract that amount of young people that watch it? And, of course, is Siesta Key the right place for them to go and put on a reality TV? It's not reality. They're probably paid actors
Well,
who
they're
come
there
from
'cause it's gorgeous.
Oshkosh,
I mean-
Wisconsin or something.
Yes.
You know, they're not from Siesta Key. You know.
Right.
So it's not really a reality program.
But
is
it'll
it?
get the word out there that it's a beautiful place, and
Yeah.
hence it may mean visitors. And as
Yeah.
Nate says, those are patrons for the rest of us. So.
As you said, Mike Holderness was on television last night, and he owns a lot of property over there. And he was saying that basically they'll come, they'll enjoy themselves, and at one point when they've got money in their pockets, they'll come back and spend it here as well.
Which is good.
Or
which
they
is
come in
good.
there and the parents, like me, spend money on them.
Right, they
So
come visit the
They
parents.
do bring money to us, even if it's our own.
All right, and that's a good thing. So are you registered to vote, and are all of your friends? Nearly 5 million people in Florida who are eligible to vote are not registered. That breaks down to 1 in 4 Floridians. Plus, Florida has more than 1 million what they call problematic voters. That means they're registered in 2 places, they've changed their names, or they've died. So this estimate includes people who can't vote, non-citizens, and felons. 5 million people is like a whole other state. Does this surprise you?
Okay, I think we need a rule. If you don't vote, you can't complain. Those of us who do vote get to complain all we want to, but if you don't vote, just shut up.
I'd
That
like a
might
harsher
solve it.
rule. I'd like a harsher rule.
And it needs to be a bigger initiative for younger people, women and men, 20-somethings, encouraging them to vote again, because I work with a lot of them, and I kind of just randomly, are you registered to vote? No. And then you have to encourage them and continue to reiterate the importance of registering and voting, because you can make a change. A lot
I
of them
think it's
kind of
because they-
don't get involved with that whole scene still.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a lot of those Floridians that are not signed up.
And we really need them to be a part of it.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, Obama initiated a really good campaign to get younger people voting, but I think they're like regressing away from that, from what I'm noticing around.
Yeah,
the
and I'm
ones-
not sure the current climate's going to help any, since
Yeah.
obviously it's contentious.
yeah.
But they don't think their vote counts because they're one of 5 million. And
Right.
that doesn't sound like it counts. But we've had big elections that were won like 200 votes, won the election.
But if you
Yes.
put those 5 million together and have it realize it is literally as much as another state, think about the difference the unregistered
Yeah,
would make.
for
So
sure,
hopefully
yes.
that will get communicated. So how important are our digital passwords? You know, you have to have a capital letter, a number, a symbol, and there's no hope of remembering any of it. In a world it's not important, believe it or not. The National Institute of Standards and Technology says that these systems we work with now are secure enough, you don't need to remember all those bizarre characters for a password. There's actually something more important. Pick a password no one will guess. Not your dog's name, not your street. NIST also says that forced password resets and common security questions are counterproductive because you're predictable how you reset your password and what questions are asked.
If they're not secure, why does it make it so hard for us to get in when we forget our password? I am blocked out of practically every account I have because I can't remember my password.
Yep, I agree.
I set them, then I write them in a little secret place, and I forget the secret place that I wrote.
Yes.
It's like crazy because I very seldom change things in my phone. So every time I go back and say password,
What was I thinking about?
yeah,
that
what was
day?
I
Right.
thinking that day?
And most of us use pets or very obvious things. I'm
But who
guilty
could
of
figure
that.
out our pet's names or the street we were born on?
Oh,
who knows
it's
that?
all out there. It's all out there. I'm going to Google that. I bet I can find a lot about you.
See if you can find my first pet's name.
All right, I'll work on that.
Oh.
Is that the
There
one
we
you're
go.
using now? Because you didn't just tell anybody or anything.
On TV, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
somebody else can get my bank account open because I can't.
All right, well, speaking of human interest, why are people so hesitant or embarrassed to pop up on stage during a show when they ask for audience participation? Probably not this crew. But psychologists say it is the spontaneity of things that creates stress. And it also swaps the expectations of your role. You know, you thought you were going to be a passive audience member. Instead, you become part of the show. This is especially stressful for people with a low tolerance for uncertainty.
Wow.
So I know we're all outgoing, but do you ever feel that, or certainly talk to someone who does, they call names or they say, hey, you in the yellow, come on
I
up
don't
here.
want it like in the circus. They want you to come up
Perfect
and
example.
disappear in a box.
Right.
I don't want to do. I'm embarrassed. I'm terribly embarrassed. And yet I could speak to 5,000 people and it wouldn't bother.
So why are you embarrassed?
You're frightened. I
I'm
think,
not in
most of the time.
charge.
Oh.
I have nothing to do with what's going to happen. I can't control
Not
it.
your control. All right, Cliff, you're a behind the camera guy. Did you like to go up on stage?
I think it's a question of what you're going to do when you get up there. I think a lot of people don't go up there because they're frightened of being embarrassed. I think frightened of some improv comedian making fun of them, frightened of some host or magician doing something to them that will, in the end, make them a mockery of the people, for the people downstairs to jeer at them. And I think that's a lot of the point. It depends. If I'm taking a photo of people, then I'd like to give those persons the feeling of security. I like to make it known to them, hey, if I take a bad picture of you, you'll never see it. I promise you. And anybody out there that I photograph will actually witness to that. It's very, very important to give them confidence that you're not going to do anything bad to them. And I think that's what happens in a lot of these
the shows.
shows where,
Right.
where
Well,
they're
Nate,
asked
you
to
could
go
ad-lib
up.
your way out of anything, so.
No, I can, but I was the biggest introvert most of my life. Like mid-20s is when I really became comfortable with being on stage. I tell people that today, they go like, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah, college and all that, I was always in some little corner,
Oh,
quiet
my
little artist.
goodness. I can't imagine that.
But so I was kind of forced into the spontaneity of being in front of the public. I still have issues with talking. I could sing, I can act, but to get up and say, good afternoon, everybody, I'm Nate Jacobs, and I'm da-da-da-da-da. So as you see me on television in front of cameras, you know I'm stressful.
Don't be stressed.
Just a little bit.
Reading every night at your theater.
I do, but it's purposeful. I have to do it,
But it's interesting to me to speak with three grown, accomplished adults who are all very, public people in our society, and everyone had a different stress about being called upon to do something. So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still like to see people call from the audience and laugh at us. We just don't want it to be us.
I understand, and living likes to be in control. I've learned that. All right, we're going to check on our happy hour forecast, and when we come back, a great preview from West Coast Black Theater.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your happy hour forecast. Looking pretty good right now. There are some showers and a few thunderstorms starting to develop down to our south mainly right now. But boy, lots of sunshine. Quite a bit of haze around too this afternoon. Temperature at 87 now that the sea breeze has kicked in. The pressure at 30.06. That's high. That continues to hold steady, and the dew point is high too at 73. Now we have an area of showers developing down mainly to our south. The stuff out in the Gulf, there's some false echoes there from military exercises, but the stuff that's legit is over parts of Charlotte County right now, entering toward Punta Gorda. There's a few isolated cells near Arcadia. Not much near the immediate coastline right now. We'll keep an eye on that, though. We'll expect more to develop throughout the evening. A chance for scattered showers through this evening, and then temperatures staying very warm, unseasonably warm, 77. Our rain chances are increasing throughout much of this week. We'll talk more about that coming up at 5 o'clock. Right now, a nice sea breeze has kicked in all up and down the coast right now, keeping things a bit cooler right near the coast. More on our rain chances coming up at 5. See you then.
Broadway in Black is the latest original production from the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. It's a celebration of classic Broadway with a twist. Here to tell us all about it and how he pulled it off is its writer, Nate Jacobs. Nate, you wrote this.
I did.
You're always up to something. Tell me about Broadway in Black.
Broadway in Black is a celebration of the African American on Broadway, which was a challenge. For many years, we were not allowed on the Great White Way. Even when they portrayed people of color, it was white actors with blackface that played our characters. But it is the shoulders that we stand on to be where we are today for me to come to a community like Sarasota and start a Black theater platform and be supported. So we're celebrating the singers, the musicians, the playwrights, and the platform that celebrated stars that are some of the top stars today, such as Melba Moore and on and on. I mean, you can name a million of them. Audrey McDonald, all of these people that are coming off that scene and going on to the next phase of their career. So there's just wonderful music. You know, the music of Duke Ellington, Fats Waller, U.B. Blake, Louis Jordan, all of these famous jazz musicians. Broadway shows have been made out of all of this popular music that has taken the world by storm. Because once, you know, the people of color came on the scene, Broadway was never the same.
They took it over.
Yes.
Yeah.
And from, you know, from something like Shuffle Along that just came off Broadway, which was the first Broadway professional show written by Noble Sissel and U.B. Blake. And we do music from that show. We kind of start off with that. But we really tell a story about how this happened. And I wanted to do it because I think a lot of people don't know how that whole story happened. We just did not appear on the scene. There was a journey to get to that point. So we're paying homage to that whole world of Broadway.
Well, tell me about the song we're about to hear now from the show and who's going to be singing it.
Well, I did an arrangement along with our music director, Dr. Letary Butler, on Broadway. It was made famous some years by George Benson. So we opened with On Broadway, and I changed the lyrics to kind of tell a little bit of our story that we're doing in the show.
Oh, neat. And who's going to be singing it?
We have some of the stars from the show, Joanna Ford, Sharice James, Brian Boyd, and Michael Mendez. They're here to sing for us this morning.
Okay, guys.
And Dr. Butler, our music director, is here as well.
Yes. Take it away, Dr. Butler.
Lights. Stage. Shine bright. They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway, on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air. We're stepping on the Great White Way. Get ready, folks, it's a new day. We're gonna rock and sing your blues away. Stage. We're stepping high, we're stepping out on Broadway, on Broadway. We're gonna sing, we're gonna shout our tunes. A wave of colors, shades, and hues are walking Broadway's avenue. Be a star just as you are on Broadway. We're stepping high, we're stepping out on Broadway. We're gonna sing, we're gonna shout our tunes. A wave of colors, shades, and hues are walking Broadway's avenue. Be a star just as you are on Broadway. On Broadway. On Broadway. On Broadway. On Broadway.
Wow, awesome! Broadway in Black, June 21st through July 23rd. WestCoastBlackTheater.org for information and tickets. You guys, we want you to sing some more. After you finish, we're going to have some estrogen facts from Dr. Jenny. But please, let's hear another song.
What good is melody?
Wow!
What good is music?
Wow!
If it ain't possessing something sweet. It ain't the melody.
Wow.
It ain't the music.
Wow.
There's something else that makes the tune
Wow.
complete.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday, and I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-962-4112. That's 1-800-962-4112. Call now, 1-800-962-4112.
I am a veteran. My victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
At DAV, we help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory was finishing my education.
My victory was getting help to put our lives back together.
DAV provides veterans with a lifetime of support.
My victory is being there for my family.
Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Changes in estrogen levels have a pronounced effect on women's lives, but men can have issues with estrogen as well. Today we asked Dr. Jenny Wilkins from Age Vital Pharmacy about estrogen dominance in both men and women. Welcome, Dr. Jenny.
Thank you.
All right, estrogen dominance sent shivers through the men on the set here.
I know.
They think that's when women are in charge, but that's not exactly what it is.
I was like, oh my God.
Tell us about estrogen dominance.
And on my social media, sometimes I'll do the 7 dwarfs of estrogen dominance, you know, like the PMS, the itchy bitchy, you know? It's like, is this you? And I love
that's very funny.
Gosh, it's
so
like
what does it mean,
happy,
though?
sad, emotional, cranky, want to stab somebody, you know? That's estrogen dominance. And it happens in both men and in women. And it's something, yeah, a lot of our foods are causing people in our society to be estrogen dominant. Even little kids can sometimes suffer from high estrogen. So the number one thing that I tell about people is change your diet. So change your diet, meaning avoid high soy, because soy will convert into estrogen.
Soy? I didn't know that. I'm going to write that down.
So you see soy lecithin in pretty much all the food products. And this is the big increase of, you see a big increase in breast cancer in women, and then 10% of the breast cancer cases right now are in men. That should not be happening, especially in guys, because guys are all testosterone. But then, you know, if we're having all that estrogen in our foods, being pumped in our foods, xenoestrogens, phytoestrogens, so meaning the toxins in our environment, even from like pesticides, microwaves, with the plastics, you know, that's huge. Avoid things like that.
So it's out there.
It's out there.
It's out there. Let's take a look at how people know if they could possibly have an increase in estrogen in their symptoms. So tell us about the women.
The first thing you want to ask them, are you having bloating? Are you gaining weight? Are your breasts tender? Do you have irregular menstrual cycles? That's huge. So infertility with estrogen dominance, if somebody has irregular menstrual cycles, headaches and mood swings, big time for women, insomnia, and then really, really low energy. So
now these also sound like PMS lists too.
Yeah,
though. Like how do you know the difference? That's PMS. That would be once a month.
PMS is one of those symptoms. That's why women, when they PMS, it's because, you know, they have too much estrogen during that time of their month. So they're releasing, you know, so much estrogen, progesterone levels drop, estrogen levels go through the roof. So it's all about ratios with hormones.
So if you feel like that all of the time, then you may have some hormones.
You're deficient in progesterone.
Okay.
Yep, and then both men and women can take progesterone, you know, capsules, troches, injections, and then also support their system, you know, nutritionally. Like the lipomino injections, very good to flush out, you know, excess estrogen in the body because it helps protect the cells. So a deficiency in B12 is, you know, it can counterbalance that. Yep, but progesterone, I also have a product called Aroma Dim, which is an amino acid. People take that, both my men and my women, and then they're supporting their metabolics by getting rid of all the excess estrogen in the environment. So that specific capsule that I sell, just, you know, because I have men, bodybuilders come in and be like,
well, let's talk about men. So then the list of what men
guys think
can
it's
suffer.
just the women. I'm like, no, if you have no libido, it's typically, you know, too much estrogen in their body. If they have breast male enlargement, that's called gynecomastia, the breast tissue, you see a lot of the older men get, you know, enlarged breast tissue where they look like they're getting boobs because the progesterone levels drop. Then they end up getting the prostate cancer because the estrogen is too high. So remember, estrogen helps your tissue to grow. So if you have it in there for a longer period of time than when it's supposed to be in there, you're going to get, you know, the polycystic ovarian syndrome. You can get breast cancer. You can get swollen prostate.
So it's more than just not feeling good. I mean, there are serious health problems that can result.
And then the progesterone counterbalances that. So it's all about balance with the hormone therapy.
And hormone levels can be checked.
And they can be checked. It's to test estrogen. It's like $45. You do a simple saliva test kit, and then to test progesterone and estrogen ratios, you know, it's around $90 to $100.
All right.
Super simple. Most insurances cover it too.
Sounds very simple and very necessary in terms of happiness and health prevention. So thank you, Dr. Jenny.
We don't
always
want men
learn
PMSing.
things. No,
No, we don't want that.
I like your crusade to cut down PMS in both sexes. This is a good thing. All right, you can visit Dr. Jenny at Age Vital Pharmacy in downtown Sarasota on Main Street, or of course you can find her online at agevital.com. When we come back, Cliff's gonna wrap up a very busy social season. We can't wait to hear the behind the scenes talk.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Since 1928, Kerastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Kerastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second Spin Mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less. Featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest to support your head, neck, and shoulders, bedside power plugs, under bed night lights, and more. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less than Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You've got to see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-774-8103. That's 1-800-774-8103. Call now.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We're going to check back in with Kim from Orange Octopus Ice Cream with us in the kitchen today. And oh, I see we've got frosting out. Tell us what you're working on.
Well, I'm going to decorate the sundae cup. So you just take a little frosting, you put it around the end, and you dip it into some sprinkles.
Oh,
that's a nice, easy little decorative way to do it.
Now tell us about the ice cream, because I understand you have something special about your ice cream.
All of our ice cream is handmade and homemade. They're our own recipes. We make them all from scratch, real ingredients. So it's done in small batches. With we make our own brownies that go into our brownie ice cream, and it makes it unique.
Okay. Oh, gotta wait about 15 more minutes, but we are well ready. We'll see you soon. Linda?
Can't wait. Oh, during the peak of the Suncoast social season, photographer Cliff Rolls is at an average, get this, of 20 events a week. Well, now that he's had a chance to catch his breath and to get some sleep, he's here to share some of his favorite moments from the season. Welcome, Cliff. You look wide awake. And
I do.
I'm sure a few sprinkles and some ice cream.
I want some of that ice cream.
The rest of the way.
Absolutely. That'll get me back.
So what's your overall impression of the season?
It's been the busiest season I've ever had. There's no question. We're increasing the number of non-profits daily here in this town. There's a new non-profit coming up, 2, 3, 4. We're thousands of non-profits that Sarasota entertains. Cultural and arts capital of Florida. Everybody is non-profit, everybody's got a board, and everybody's dependent on the kindness of strangers. The result, of course, is that we're looking for those circles of people who are willing to donate money. So all we're doing at the moment, when Nate puts on a show, when I go to a gala, all they're doing is selling tickets and then entertaining people in order to get their money. That's what it's all about. So you've got theme galas. You've got like the Oslo, the West Coast theme is around music, etc. You've got galas around Parkinson. You've got galas around Alzheimer's. You've got galas around bruised, battered dogs and circus,
yeah.
Yeah, you've got basically everything's got a theme. So they want to bring people in at a good ticket price, and ticket prices are relatively stable at the moment. They may have gone down a little in the last year because people have realized that it was getting a bit silly to start asking $700, $500 for a ticket, except of course the Vital V Foundation that was $1,000 a plate but earned $3 million.
Wow.
As one of the biggest ones in fundraisers this year. But Linda, it's basically you get the people in, you sell your tickets, you have to offer them something when they're in.
Was there a trend this year?
Yes, the trend has been to try and be a little bit more inventive. That's why you've got these wonderful marketing people out there. You've got Laura Wood at the Oslo, Roger Capote over at Selby, Lucy Halletts, Kim Mnuchin. All these people are out there inventing new ways of doing a gala. people have been bringing in photo booths for the last couple of years, which I think is a great thing, because it's not only good for me to go around and do the candids, but people want to put on a moustache and a hat and go in and have a silly photo taken in a photo booth in the course of the evening as well. Interactive luncheons have become very, very popular, and I adore them, because the wine that's on the table gets the guests very loose very quickly. So they have a great time and they give money. Make-A-Wish does a fantastic interactive luncheon, for example. You've got themes going on all through. Some of them bring in ice cream vendors, for example. And as you know, when you go to the Best of Sarasota over at Selby Gardens, you've got every restaurant in town. That's another trend. Celebrity chefs over at JFCS bring in all the vendors, make little food things for them to taste, desserts and main things like that.
What makes an event a hit? They're all really competing with each other because there's so many. What really makes it over the top?
Starts with the committee organizing the event, starts on the amount of budget that they're willing to put into that event, starts on the event planner that they bring in to hire to maneuver that event round. Some of them don't, and it's still very, very good. But basically, it's the innovation of the people to bring them in and have something for the guests to do, except to sit down, put their money into a silent auction or bid on a live auction. One very new trend, I do want to get that out there this year, and I don't know if I like it or not, but basically paddle raisers are very popular. It's what you do. You ask for money at the end of a gala, at the end of a live auction. People are putting up, will you give me 10,000? Will you give me 5,000? Will you give me 2,500? And eventually they get down to the 100 mark. Now they want everybody, obviously, in the place. They say you can all afford $100. All right, what I've got here is a Yeti cooler. The last person who bids $100 gets that cooler. What happens? People put their hands up. I want it. Okay, but no, Fred Bloggs wants it over here. So $100, and that can sometimes last for a half an hour. I've known it last a half an hour to 3/4 of an hour before that last $100 is given away. And by that time, they've earned $10,000 on that cooler.
So they're reaching
It's like
their
Cubans.
goal.
It's like, they think that person wants that last $100. It never stops. And that's the trend. That's one of the trends that's come into the galas this year. As I say, the entertainment is very, very important.
That's what I like. I want to be entertained.
Yeah.
What do you see coming next year?
Well, they're still after your money, and they're still going to be non-profit, and they're still going to be dependent on your donations. So basically, they're going to still keep their ticket prices there from $175 to $250 to $300. The big ones are going to offer you big entertainment with New York or big bands coming in to entertain you on the dance floor afterwards. Some of the standouts this year, from Out of Door Academy to the Oslo to the Opera Ball, this is the kind of budget they have. They have a major, major budget. They can afford to bring in the people and offer this kind of entertainment. It's going to be this. It's going to be the same kind next year, but better,
bigger, and better,
lots more. And people are going to realise they need entertainment and they need a photographer.
And they can provide entertainment. Aren't we lucky here? Very good. And you can find out more and find his pictures on smugmug.com.
cliffrolls.smugmug.com.
I love the smug mug part. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you. We can't wait to see what's coming up next. And coming up next, we're going to talk about money matters, because you need that to go to these balls.
A little bit.
Richard Stern will be here to give us some tips.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what we're working on now for 5 o'clock. A development that makes the Mall of America look small. Details on a retailtainment complex that's in the works in South Florida. Also, a market that's been a part of the Suncoast community for more than 50 years is closing, while the owner of the Shortstop Market in Sarasota is calling it quits. Let's get a check on our weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Scott, right now near the coast, clear skies, warm temperatures, and lots of sunshine here. Winds out of the west-southwest at 11, keeping things just a little bit cooler right along the coast within a mile or so. But inland areas, there are some storms developing as an increase in moisture availability in the atmosphere, kicking off showers and a few thunderstorms, mainly to the southeast of our area. We have one lone shower popping up there in eastern portions of Manatee County. We'll look for others to develop over the next couple of hours, especially inland. More on our forecast coming up at 5. See you then.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Some U.S. cities are synonymous with the products that they make. Take Coca-Cola in Atlanta, Ford and GM in Detroit, but not all are as well known, and we're about to get tested in today's Money Matters. Now, Richard, you made up a quiz for us today. You're going to give us a famous company and 3 choices of cities where it's made, right?
Exactly right. And you knew about Coca-Cola.
Oh, every soft drink in the world is called Coca-Cola to me because that's the way it is in Atlanta.
That's what happens when you're in Atlanta.
Yes.
Not all of them are that well known. I'm going to see if how well you do at picking out these companies and their headquarters.
Oh.
The first one is Best Buy. Are they based in Richfield, Minnesota, Jersey City, New Jersey, or Honolulu, Hawaii? Anybody want to take this?
I would say New Jersey.
I'll go New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Well, you're all wrong. The answer is Richfield, Minnesota, which is just outside of Minneapolis. So we got them already. Let's go.
I was thinking Target when I heard that.
Well, that's there too. Now, CVS. CVS is based in Cleveland, Los Angeles, or Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Oh, my.
What's a Woonsocket?
I would say Woonsocket because I never heard of it.
It just seems like some place that it would even be on that list. Okay, be ready.
The answer is?
California.
Cleveland.
How about Woonsocket, Rhode Island? There you go.
Didn't it?
You can't make that stuff up.
We should have known you couldn't have made that one.
There you go. Well, let's move on. How about another well-known company, Domino's? Domino's, the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Anchorage, Alaska, or Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Go in Indiana.
I'm going to say Ann Arbor because they have a college there and they might
I heard that there's a college there, yes.
I'll go for Alaska.
Alaska?
Was it on there?
Yes, it was.
The answer is Go Maize and Blue. That is Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Because college kids need pizza.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
And drink a little beer along the way. And next we have Kohl's. Kohl's is based in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Lexington, Fayette, easy for me to say, Kentucky, and Laredo, Texas.
I think that's Wisconsin. I think I remember that.
I think it's a Kentucky Fayetteville thing.
Then I'll go with Texas.
Okay.
Well, as one who was born and raised in Milwaukee, the answer is Menominee Falls, Wisconsin.
I remember that.
And Kohl's, for those of us who grew up in that era, Kohl's was a grocery chain, very much like Publix.
Really?
Wow. Absolutely.
Oh, my.
And it has morphed into soft goods, so that's really become different. And now, remind me, do we have one more? I believe we do. Lowe's. Lowe's is based in Raleigh, North Carolina, Huntington, New York, or Mooresville, North Carolina.
I know Mooresville well, and I can't, but I'm going to say that because that's one of my favorite towns.
Okay.
I'll agree with Linda.
Oh, I'll go with North Carolina.
Me too.
Okay.
Why
You're
not?
all right. Mooresville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, and we have Whole Foods still. I'm sorry. Let's do one more.
Whole
Foods.
Oh.
Austin, Texas. El Paso, Texas, or San Antonio, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
I'll go with Texas.
There you go.
I'm going Austin.
I'm going El Paso.
Austin.
Yes, Austin.
3 out of 4 are right. Austin, Texas is absolutely right.
Austin, Texas
Yes.
is right?
That's a college town, is it not, with a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
Now, last week we talked about following the FANG stocks, if you remember, and how well they are doing, and believe me, they've done well. So let's take a look at some current statistics on the FANG stocks themselves. Facebook, last week was up 2 3/4%, and so far this year is up by more than 32%. That's a reasonable.
I take full credit for
stock?
using it so much.
How much is a stock, a share of Facebook?
You know, I should know that, but I don't have it in my head. Sorry about that.
Well,
Next
few
week,
people buy one, right?
I can tell you that Amazon traded at $1,000 a share this morning for the first time.
Oh, wow.
How about 3 3/4% for the week? 32.7 year to date. Now remember, that's almost exactly the same as Facebook. Now you have Apple. Apple was up just a fraction for the week, but also up more than 32%. That's just for the year to date. That's since January 1st. Next, we have Netflix. Guess what? Up 3.5% for the week, up 31%. Now, those 4, every one of them is up 31 or 32%. So the real answer is you could have bought any one of them. It wouldn't have mattered. They're all up by more than 31%. And Google is the laggard, and how's that for a laggard? For the week, up more than 4%, and year-to-date up 25.3%, which means the worst performer out of those 5 is up more than 25% for the year. So the answer is you just should have bought any one of them.
Or all.
Or all.
All of the above.
Or several. How's that?
Oh, that's great, Richard. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're one step closer to the ice cream.
Yes, we are. We're getting closer.
We'll be right back.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world.
If you get knocked down, stand up again. Rip it up again. Give me one chance, give me one chance. I'm gonna make it, baby. Give me my chance, this is my chance. I'm gonna take
The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it.
My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Welcome back. Okay, I want to share with the gentlemen some fun. Linda and Bobeth and I had the pleasure of visiting Walt Disney World Resort last week and being some of the first to see Pandora, the world of Avatar. Can I tell you what the biggest thrill was? Watching Linda Carson experience.
That's the greatest thing ever. That's like 50 years ahead. You don't realize it's 3D. You really believe you're there, and it's the most beautiful world ever.
It's just, it is an amazing place, but if I could just say, Linda, you have done so many things and have so little that's on your bucket list of things that you've never tried or experienced anything like it. Her face lit up. She begged to go back on the one ride again. There's talking to her friend, the Banshee there.
That's the one you ride on, except they're bigger.
Right. But what a pleasure for me to experience it through your eyes.
And I tell you that I am going back. I want to be a regular at Disney and ride. I could ride that ride every day. It is the
She did not bring her mouse ears.
She brought out her
on
mouse
this
ears.
show.
In fact, turn her around for just a second. Her name is on her mouse ears.
Oh my God.
Her name
This is too
is on
much.
her mouse ears.
Mickey knows
Linda is a Walt Disney World convert, and can I tell you, a true pleasure to experience all of that with.
I never had so much fun in all my life. All of us, we kept getting back on the rides, back on the rides.
And here, I'm going to confess, I was tired. I'm like, really? We're going to do this again?
And she was ready to jump
And
off.
Bobeth is like, Linda wants to, be quiet. I'm like, all right, we're going back. So
They had on high heels through Disney Park, 6-inch heels. Can you believe that? They never took them off.
we are quite a road trip. That's all I'm going to tell you. And as we go throughout the next week or so, we have all sorts of stories we're going to share.
Good.
But
It doesn't
first,
matter what your hair looks like. With one of these, you're fine.
life lessons from Linda, and that's a good one. All right, finally, the wait is up. We get to go to the kitchen.
All
We are
right.
so excited to make ice cream
Ice
sundaes. Orange octopus in the kitchen.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Haley Vilgas. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. We're not out of the woods just yet. Dozens of wildfires are still burning in Florida. A look at the drought conditions and the fire threat coming up at 5. And now taking a quick look at Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents right now, but US 41 is backed up in the north and southbound lanes. That's right near Fruitville Road in Sarasota. Be careful in that area. Now let's head over to Bob.
Thanks, Haley. We may be getting a jump start on our rainy season. Showers and storms are in the forecast this week. We'll talk more about that at 5. Right now, this false echoes military exercises. We're bringing some false echoes down in the Gulf. We'll take those out of it and show you the legitimate showers near Arcadia, also near Highlands, one into eastern portions of Manatee County, and some legitimate showers offshore right now. Not much near the coast, but we expect more to develop throughout this evening. Getting closer to the coast, we'll have more in our forecast at 5. See you then.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Coming up Wednesday at 4 on Suncoast View, everything we need to know we learned in kindergarten, right? Well, we're going to put it to the test and send Linda back to school for this year's kindergartners as they get ready to graduate. You know, it's not easy being mom, but a new mother brings her favorite products that make the job a little easier. Plus, time to get in shape for summer. Yeah, we're going to need it after the ice cream. And the Indian table joins us in the kitchen.
And I dedicate this segment to my granddaughters. We're back with Orange Octopus.
All right. Kim, tell us what we are up to. I'm digging in already.
So we're going to make some sundaes. There are 4 different types of ice cream we have. We have ooey gooey brownie with chunks of brownie in it. We have a birthday cake with homemade cake chunks in here. Frosting swirl throughout. We have a creamy mango that's packed full of mangoes, and our toasted coconut, which has toasted coconut flakes in it and a lot of other coconut. So I think that when you're making a sundae, it's just about being fun and putting in what you like. So for the brownie sundae, maybe you'd like to start with a few brownies in the bottom.
I'll put it in here?
Yeah, so right in there, and then scoop some
in the bottom.
In the bottom.
Now, do you have different, you know, combinations that you have in the menu, that items that you recommend, or do people just get to come in and kind of go free?
We have sundaes that are on the menu that are set that we've worked on to try to highlight the different ice creams that we have all the time. But we'll make pretty much anything that you like. We aim to please, and some people really like to have marshmallow topping on a sundae, and we'll add it if that's what they like.
All right, Nate, I want you to go crazy here.
That is frosting. That's what went on around here, so you don't want to eat that. That's going to be a little strong.
Incredible.
Okay. So
is this the ice cream that we
That's
use?
the ice cream, yep. So you have the scooper right there.
Pick out something else to put in here. What do you
so
get?
some marshmallows are fun.
Okay, let's put some marshmallows
Can a person buy this whole, like, whatever this is?
Yes, these are quarts. We sell pints and quarts. We hand dip them right in front of you, so you can choose what flavor you'd like.
Any tips about what we should use next?
Well, I think that a lot of color, I would put more ice cream in. So I would do like another 4 or 5 scoops in there.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then I think that nerds are always fun.
2.
Yeah.
What are these, nerds? Here?
Those are nerds there. Yep.
I'm going to scoop
Stephanie, she's not going to have an ice cream to make
No,
it fun.
no. I'm all about the icing. So I have to tell you, what makes this ice cream so different is the flavor explosion in it. I mean, I'm having mango, and it's like eating a mango.
Because we do put a lot of the real ingredient in there.
we put some
so
of
I just ate a whole coconut.
and that one.
Yes.
It's pretty delicious.
But it's phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so with coconut and mango, do you have any recommendations?
Some toasted coconut right here.
Okay.
Is good, and some pineapple
put some
topping.
pineapple on that.
Chocolate and coconut go really well together. So the birthday cake, I'm doing this for your granddaughters.
Thank you.
With
that,
some whipped cream. Excuse me, I'm gonna grab some whipped cream.
Ooh, that looks fun. Linda, you want to run the whipped cream jar.
Yeah.
Whipped cream on top. Oh, yeah.
Oh, now you're talking.
Oh, that looks
nice
so
and high.
Good. Yes.
And then we always need to put a cherry on top. And then a little sprinkle of something is always fun too.
Oh, I'm gonna grab a cherry.
And one of the most popular toppings that we have are sour gummy worms. So we'll stick a little bit of those.
Cute.
Who would have had imagined, right?
Oh, it is so
those are
summertime,
fun.
and we are celebrating with orange
pretty.
octopus.
We did well. We did.
Go see them on the south end of Siesta Key, Stickney Point. Great way to kick off the season. Thank you, Kim.
Cheers.
Great tasting ice cream,
Thank
no
you,
matter
Kim.
what.
Thank you, Kim.
There's no calories in the summer, by the way. All right, Cliff, great to see you. Nate, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, kick off the summer season with ice cream.
So good.